What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. How are you all doing? Listen, our character has undergone some changes since the last time you saw him. He's still a shaman, of course. Look at him. Doesn't he look like a shaman? Look at him. He's so cute and cuddly. How are y'all doing? Grab a coffee. Sit back and relax. The gnomes are ready. Look, they're having a little chat over here. There we go. We're ready to go. Listen, we're going to do a video today on Shadow Priest. This is one of my alts. I have a million alts, of course, but this is one of my favorite ones. I think if I had to pick a caster that I was going to play, I think this would be it. Honestly, this thing is so much fun to play around with. I just absolutely love it. So, I'm going to tell you about my build. I'm going to go over the legendary stuff. I know that you guys probably don't even play Shadow Priest, but let me tell you, this is so much fun to play. I don't have a ton of gear yet, so we did only it was to plus 11 streets. That was the key, my key. We did plus 2 it. Like, we 2-chested it. Now I have a 13 other side that I can try and do. So I'll try and keep working on that. But I just want to show you this plus 11, get into it. I'm only at 251 eye level now. I do have my 4-piece, which is the cool thing about the Catalyst now, right, is that you can just go get your 4-piece on your ults, basically, if you have enough Cosmic Flux. And then we're running this legendary, which I'll get into in a second. So grab that coffee and let me just get into my build on the Shadow Priest, why I love this, class for range so much, how much fun it is, and what I think is important to sort of remember about Shadow Priest. So, number one, we got our tier set. So our tier set basically says, casting Devouring Plague has a chance to give you a Dark Thought. Dark Thought is just like Shadow Priest's main passive ability, and it gives you an additional charge of Mind Blast, which is a huge button. Mind Blast is something you want to be pressing all the time if you can. It basically gives you another charge of Mind Blast. I only have one charge right now, and Dark Thoughts basically says you get another charge. So it means you can just continuously keep spamming Mind Blast if you want to, which is good for my build, because I'll get into that in a second. The 4-piece says consuming a Dark Thought, which is when you use that extra Mind Blast that you're given. So you're given a Mind Blast. When you use that Mind Blast, your shadow animates for a moment, dealing a bunch of damage to enemies within 10 yards. Now, that damage, as you can see overall, is this thing, Torment Mind. That's my 4-piece damage right there, just from the 4-piece, which is insane. It's actually crazy how much AoE damage the 4-piece does for Shadow Priest. So, it's very, very cool, and it's just a ton of fun. So what ends up happening with this build is often you can you're generating resources. You set up all your dots with Vampiric Touch, and then you're gonna get throw a Mind Blast into a Devouring Plague, and you're hoping that the Devouring Plague will proc a Dark Thought, which gives you another Mind Blast charge, and you can instantly cast Mind Blast again, and you keep kind of rotating back and forth between those two things, and all the while within the Mindbender window, and I'll get to that in a second as well. So here's my legendary, which says your Mind Blast and your Shadow or Death cause your Mindbender to teleport behind your target and slash nearby enemies. So that's why Mindbender is so huge. That's why I was just talking about this kind of combo, where you're trying to get Mind Blasts back as much as possible. You're trying to trigger your Dark Thought passive as much as you possibly can, so that you can cast Mind Blast while your Mindbender is up. So your basic combo is you cast Mindbender into a Mind Blast, and then you want to do Void Eruption, because that gets you 2 charges of your Mind Blast again. Then you just do Mind Blast into Mind Blast into Mind Blast into Shadow Word Death. So you've done 4 procs on your Mindbender already, which is the legendary here, which will do damage, first of all, and also increase the duration of your Mindbender again. So it's all kind of working together, and it's all centered around Dark Thoughts, which is your main passive here. And then I'm also running Venthyr, and I probably should be running Necrolord, but I really, really enjoy Venthyr. It's just it's just a lot of damage, and it does a lot of healing, which is cool. But that's just Mind Games. It's its own separate thing. It's a 45-second cooldown. It just does damage, and then it reverses damage and healing that the enemy does. It's not really that important, but that's all right there. Now, let's look at our talents really quick. So I am taking Misery instead of Searing Nightmare, and I think every Shadow Priest basically takes Searing Nightmare. I just hate the playstyle, and so I'm trying to figure out how to do it differently. I did take Surrender to Madness in this dungeon, which you're going to see in a minute is a funny clip. I don't recommend taking it because it actually just doesn't work half the time, which you're going to see in one of my clips. So the next time I do a dungeon, I'm going to take Hungering Void for sure. I was just experimenting with Surrender just to see if it was kind of fun. You have to take Mindbender because of the Legendary, which is fine. Makes it a 1 minute cooldown. And that means that you can, every 1 minute, you can do this big Legendary like Mindbender combo, which is cool. I take Psychic Link, which makes my Mind Blast cleave to enemies with my Vampiric Touch on them. And then I obviously take Misery and Fortress. So my basic combo is that I get a bunch of Vampiric Touches out, and they're going to automatically apply Shadow Word Pain for me. So I have two dots rolling, which is good. I don't have to, it saves me a lot of time, a lot of GCDs. So I'll do like Vampiric Touch a bunch of times to get those hots rolling. And then I will summon my Mindbender into a Mind Blast. Then I hit Void Eruption to get my Mind Blast charges back. And then I do Mind Blast again into a Shadow Word Death. And that's like a huge chunk of my AoE damage. So that's kind of how it works. And then obviously you just sprinkle in Mind Games off cooldown as much as you possibly can. What's a couple of interesting things about Shadow Priest that I just want to touch on. First of all, is like really, really strong for Shadow Priest because they have Power Infusion right here, right? They've got Mindbender, which is your 1 minute cooldown I was just talking about, which is here. So I have a 1.5 minute, I have a 2 minute cooldown in Power Infusion, a 1 minute cooldown in Mindbender, and Void Eruption is 1.5 minutes. So all like very low cooldowns. And then Mind Games is 45 seconds. And they're all very low cooldowns. So is like perfect for you because it means that every single pack you can get these cooldowns back and use them again, which is insane. It's absolutely crazy. So I really love the playstyle of Shadow Priest, and it really benefits from because you get your own haste buff with Power Infusion anyway. And Power Infusion is just absolutely broken, man. 25% haste for 20 seconds is just outrageous. So that's the build. I did run Theatar to get the Mastery proc, which is basically just more damage. All my damage is increased by 12% for each of my hots and dots that are on people. So that's why I also like taking Misery, because it gets me 2 dots right away. And then I could get my Devouring Plague on somebody as well, so then I'll have more damage. But this is what I ran. Just had Shadow Perceptions, and then you have to run Rabid Shadows for your Mindbender, because your Legendary is all about your Mindbender, and it's attacking enemies and stuff, so you really want to run that. And then the Mind Blast one, of course, because I'm focusing primarily on pressing Mind Blast. So I'm not doing a Searing Nightmare build where you just stand there and channel Mind Sear and then press Searing Nightmare over and over again. I understand that it's good. I understand why people run that build. I just personally hate it, and I really enjoy this other build that it's much more involved. So let's jump into the video. Let me just move the video over here. Let's jump into it, and you can see the opening pack here. Get my notes over here. Oh, sorry. 1 second. That's not going to work, is it? Let's do this here. Let me just close this for a second. Boom. Perfect. Okay. Let's do this.
Watch your step.
So in the opening pack here, I actually use my Mindbender. You can see it's on cooldown, and I'm doing my rotation right now. I'm trying to press Mind Blast as many times. There's a Dark Thought. When you do get a Dark Thought, it simply makes your like Mind Blast glow, so you can see that. And our damage is like actually pretty good. So I have my hots, my dots out, sorry, on all the targets. I have to refresh them here. I'm not even sure if I do, because it's just like I should have actually, but it's all good. We still did a lot of damage there. That's the Mindbender sort of power that you get 3. I have 3 target cleave here. I get all my dots out, so I have 2 dots on each target. So I'm doing like 25% more damage, first of all, because of my mastery. Then you go Mindbender into a bunch of Mind Blasts, and then you just cycle between Mind Blasts and Devouring Plague. Devouring Plague, Mind Blast, Devouring Plague, because you'll get procs from your Dark Thought passive, and the Dark Thought passive will also trigger your 4 set, so it all kind of works together. Here's another pull. I do use Void Eruption here. I get Shadow Locked.
Oh, God.
I just, like, haven't played a ranged caster, like a caster in general, with Quaking in a long time. So I made a bunch of huge mistakes here. So I don't end up doing any damage right here. But that's okay.
Yeah, that was so
You can see my little 4-piece guy. That's him right there. And I get hit twice with Shadow Lock,
very different as a caster.
which is hilarious. This is a big pull here. So again, I'm spreading my dots. I need to spread Vampiric Touch everywhere because my Mind Blast will cleave to everybody with Vampiric Touch on them. So there's like about 3 or 4 seconds of setup time here, which is fine. Now I do Mind Blast and it cleaves. I don't have Void Eruption, right? So I did use Surrender to Madness here, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to start catching up in damage. Like, look at my damage here. I went from like 4K. Watch when I press Surrender. Right here. There's Surrender. Here we go. 7K, 8K, 11, 12, 14, 17, 18, 20K, 22. We might die here, actually. 23, and I have 17 seconds left on Surrender. Surrender to Madness is crazy. 23K, 24K DPS as like a 250 Shadow Priest. It's so stupid, man. It's like crazy how good it is. But I do think Surrender is not the play, for sure. It's definitely not the play. Look at our damage. But our damage was bonkers here. It's just like there are moments where Surrender is really good. And then I thought I was going to die because I didn't think I'd killed the guy who I put Surrender on. Surrender's kind of strangely coded. It's like whoever you put Surrender to Madness on, that mob needs to die within like 25 seconds.
No, we're fine.
But I didn't die, which is lucky. But our damage was really crazy there for my eye level. That was Surrender to Madness, by the way. Super excited about that. Like, I thought that was amazing. So, plus our mind. Yeah, love that. That was awesome. That was our whole combo, basically. The 4-piece. Look at the 4-piece damage. That's just my 4-piece tier set. Insane. Let's go to Xo'phex. We should have boss fight. So this fight is obviously very different for ranged because he puts the stupid shield up. And it's just not something that I'm used to dealing with, so. But anyway, we have our dots out. I don't know my dots on the guy. That was another mistake. I made so many mistakes here. I don't press Void Bolt nearly as much as I need to. But this is insane. Here's another reason why is so good. I'm running a build that focuses entirely on Mind Blast, basically. My Mind Blast will cleave to targets that have Vampiric Touch. My Mind Blast increases the duration of my Mind Bender on enemies. It's just like, and I have the Conduit that's it's just all about Mind Blast. So when you get like I was saying before, all my cooldowns start coming back. Look at my Mind Bender cooldown. It is 39 seconds left. It'll be basically back off cooldown by the time is done. But also, my Mind Blast, I can cast it back to back to back when is rolling. Look at the Mind Blast cooldown. We got Look at it. I can just keep casting it. This is insane. I can just cast Mind Blast, which makes my Mind Bender do his thing. It just increases the duration of my Mind Bender, which is nuts. Crazy. And it also does a ton of damage. So, like, we're doing 11K single target here, basically, which is really good. We get targeted, I think, twice with Interrogation, unfortunately. But, like, the build is really strong. Okay. It's really good, actually. I don't really have a lot of eye level, and I'm playing it so poorly. We lose our weapon here as well. But you can see the potential there. If you get you can just go Mind Blast, Mind Blast, Mind Blast, Mind Blast. Oh, sorry, guys. This is really and it keeps up your Mind Bender, as well as doing lots of damage. Just does lots of damage, which is great. It also is like your best generator, I think, of insanity, besides maybe Shadow Word Death. But this fight is so different as a caster, right? Because of the stupid shield that he keeps putting up, right? So again, I get Interrogation again, twice in a row. Pretty annoying. We do end up killing him. Just really cool the whole time. And again, you can see now I have Mind Blaster coming back. I have PI back. I have a Surrender to Madness back.
We did a lot less damage because we got targeted twice.
I need to switch out of Surrender to Madness because it's just. I think it's actually very difficult to use properly. Here's some good damage from us. Not doing anything right now, but I'll hit Void Eruption. Boom, boom, boom. And there you go. We're doing some damage. Then it's just Mind Blast, right? I just Mind Blast because it's all about Mind Blast cleaving. So I'm not really pressing Mind Sear. And I could be, for sure. But really, I can just get the procs from my Vampiric Touch. When I press Vampiric Touch, it is a chance to give me the proc of Mind Blast. So, again, we're doing 15.5k here as like with no eye level.
It's just like
not no eye level, but it's not that much. You can just
surrender,
but really goes, man. The damage just piles right up. Just being able to press this on a 1.5 minute cooldown is crazy. Now here we can use surrender. This is surrender. I use surrender here, but here we go. It's again, it's only for 2 targets, so it's not really ideal. But you might as well use your cooldown. You can move while casting when you have surrender, which is kind of neat actually. But it's very. I don't think surrender is like worth it, but you never know. You do get to do nutty stuff like this. So we did do a bunch of damage, but it wasn't a big deal. Here's another part that's like very annoying about being a caster, which like you don't know until you do it. Like as a melee character, I don't care about this guy at all, right? Because I'm staying right next to him.
Annoying as a caster.
As a caster, holy crap, man! It's so annoying as a caster. The damage is rough. So yeah, I think that like there's lots of pulls where I probably should be pressing Mind Seer, and then I know that you can just I know that while you're channeling Mind Seer, you can just throw a Mind Blast over top if you get a Dark Thought proc. I totally understand that that's how that works, but with this build, it's just better to be pressing other buttons. Like, you want to be trying to rotate between Devouring Plague and get the Mind Blast proc. You're hoping to get the proc, because if you do proc a Dark Thought, then your Shadow guy comes out and does a whole bunch of damage. So it's not that I don't understand how the like Mind Seer, Mind Flay works while you're channeling.
Always want to be
totally
pressing
understand that you can cast Mind Blast while you're channeling, but it's just like my last priority. It's not something I'm really trying to do. It's just always like it's just the best because there's better buttons to press. This is a good little pull here. I actually pop surrender here. I don't think there's anything actually too crazy about it though. The stairs are really annoying though. Again, caster things. I'm trying to target somebody who's like not in my line of sight. Very annoying. See all the Mind Blast we get damage here, which is really good. Mind Blast also sends out Shadowy Apparitions. Our damage was okay here. Now, I use Surrender right now, so Surrender is ticking. Watch this. It's got 13 seconds. 12, 11, 10. So if I don't kill this guy in 10 seconds, I'm dead. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And then he dies. The guy dies right there. My Surrender to Madness time's out.
Why did he pull me up like that?
And then I die. So it's like, it was bugged. You can see I died to Surrender right there. So I don't know what's going on. It's like bugged, which is really annoying. But the tank pulls the next pack into here, and then I get basically charged like 15 times by these little dudes who shadow lock you. And it is the most annoying thing I've ever seen. I swear.
How did we get woke?
That is so annoying. This is number 1. Let's get a counter going.
Oh my
Lock
God,
number 1.
Shadow locking me. Stop shadow locking me, dude.
Touch. I think I pulled the boss here. I think this is entirely my fault. I'm too close to the boss here. Unless he just auto pulls. There's number 2. Lock number 2, by the way. Very annoying. What was actually surprisingly good. So I summon my Mind Bender.
Oh my God.
Very annoying. I do Void Eruption. I got my Mind Bender going, so I need to cast stuff. I need to cast damage. Go. We're doing good damage, but I could be doing more. I've totally screwed this up now that I'm looking at it. I'm shadow locked again because he charged me again.
Why am I shadow locked again? Dude, quit jumping at me. These little guys that like jump at you, that's so annoying.
The woe speed is actually kind of good. Low key. Yeah, the woe speed was good. I got shadow locked again.
To me again.
Is that 5? I think it's 5.
Can't do anything.
Right? That's so annoying. My damage, dude. So annoying.
Watch all.
But this boss fight's not too bad. There's not really anything complicated about it. It's annoying, but actually getting woe was pretty cool before we came in here, and then we got I think, on the pull. Oh no, we got Vi. We got Vi. We're doing Vi right now. So I got my Mind Bender is back. I need to use my Mind Bender. This is something I'm really bad at doing.
Okay.
Is like holding my cooldowns. Okay. I think I'm waiting for the next boss to come out, so I do use it here. But I need to pop it like right now. I need to get used to just using it. I'm very bad. So I'll get there. But anyway, nothing too crazy about the rest of this fight. Let's skip ahead. We do end up killing it.
Oh no, I'm an idiot.
Oh yeah, I get locked one more time. I agreed. This Mind Flay, I'm just like doing it.
Oh no,
I'm not paying attention to quaking, right? Because I'm not a ranged player. So there we go. That's that. Let's go to 14. Yeah, let's go to 14. So the diversity of this build is really cool. So on this little mini boss, he does that little line that will pull 2 players together, and if you do get pulled together, it takes a lot of damage. So one thing I love about this build
is that you get so many instant cast abilities. So I'm getting pulled here, but I have an instant cast Mind Blast, and I have a Devouring Plague. So I go Mind Blast into Devouring Plague. I get a Mind Blast proc again.
You can actually keep doing your damage.
That entire time.
Because of the dark thoughts that you keep proccing.
The entire time that I was getting pulled in there, I was able to proc the damage, and it wasn't a problem. I could keep my damage going, which is really, really cool.
Shadow.
So
that's what that is, right?
let's go to Postmaster. Postmaster fight. We did get haste right off the hop, which was really cool. We have one of the male elemental domes. So then we take a bunch of damage here.
Special coming.
I'm doing almost 10k single target, which is like really, really insane. We get I need to use my cooldowns. I don't know why I'm not using. I should do Mindbender right now, and I don't. It's really, really bad. I'm looking around for the male things, but I should have just pressed Mindbender. So I tried to pick up this package, and I fail miserably. I tried to pick one up, I swear. What I love about seeing this is that I can clearly do better, and I am going to do better. And I'm not worried about that at all, which is nice. Like, it's not like my damage was horrible, and I actually played very poorly. So it's like the damage could be a lot better. But nothing too crazy on this fight. Let's move forward to the market boss fight. Zo'gron.
Okay.
At 26:45. Because we do the whole market, right? Oh no, that's the end. Oops. 24:45.
I hope we caught you at
This is good. This is Zo'gron. Again, we have stuff. Look at how fast we're casting. We have the buff from the instrument plus PI. So we're able to cast extremely fast. Oh god. Quaking's dangerous there. Mindbender's out. Look at all the resets I'm getting on my Mind Blast. Watch this.
Spread.
Sorry. One more time, I'll just show you. I have a charge of Mind Blast. I use it. I use Void Bolt. Then I use Devouring Plague here because I can't cast Mind Blast because it's not instant cast. I get a third charge of Mind Blast because of my Dark Thought. Then I go Mind Blast, Devouring Plague, Mind Blast, Mind Blast. Like, my Mindbender just got buffed like crazy, right? Like, he was out for so long. Now I'm channeling Mind Flake because there's nothing else to do. I don't want to use Surrender because I'm scared. We have so I can keep casting Mind Blast.
Keep our Mindbender up.
It's just awesome. It feels really, really good, and it feels like you can sort of move while casting all the time. That's why I really enjoy this build.
You guys are getting all this stuff reflected.
Yes, we're getting beat by the tank, but the tank has like 270 eye level, and we're like 250. So that's why. Yeah, I'm proud of that. That's good damage there. And then we got to the final boss here. The Warlock could gate. He probably doesn't know that. 27. So Zombie's pretty good. I had overlapping nameplates on here, I think, which I need to not do. I use Mindbender, PI, into Mind Blast, Void Eruption. That's what you want to do, right? So you want to use your charge of Mind Blast that you have, then press Void Eruption, because Void Eruption will give you Mind Blast back. So it's important to do it in that order. Then you Mind Blast. Every time I Mind Blast now, my Mindbender is doing his slash. It's hard to see it, but he's up there. He's doing it.
Run.
I need to press Void Bolt so much more. Again, a lot of your damage is ticking damage, which is nice for these kinds of moments where, like, you can't have uptime on the boss. We got again. Again, we have to do this. He divides it again. I need to use my Mindbender, but we lust here, I guess. Need to get the circle.
Interrupt 2.
They interrupt really, really quickly, which is annoying, but it's fine. I'm not sure who interrupted there. My Mindbender is out.
So early.
No. Oh, no. I'm fishing for procs on Dark Thought, which I'm not getting any, but that's okay. So that was a weak Mindbender there. Yeah, we're still doing okay damage. Really good for Shadow Freeze. It's like surprisingly good. I have Void Eruption. We're going to go. I need to press Void Bolt way more often. We got lucky with the placements there.
Run.
Then there's this Shuri right here. And I was like, oh no, this is horrible placement. we have to run. I'm still doing my damage though. And then eventually I just commit with a dispersion. And I think I'm okay. I actually thought I was fine here. Because I had dispersion rolling, but as soon as I take dispersion off, I get wrecked. You see that? Oh no, I didn't. I'm dead. That's fine. The DK finishes it off. And we get the kill. I get 162 rating for that on my friggin' Shadow Priest, because I was people don't like getting prescript, man. Even if it's like efficient, even if it's like helpful, they don't want to. That's okay. Let's start this up. I'm gonna jump back into the overrunner. We'll look at the damage. I just have to reload this. So it was really fun. I like the build. First of all, it's a lot of fun to play. That's just like number one, which is awesome. I think that's like why I want to play the build. I don't like Searing Nightmare because it's not fun to play, in my opinion. You're just standing still, pressing one button basically, and I hate that. So but you can see our 4-piece is huge here. This is all 4-piece damage, just 12%, and then Mind Blast is at the top because we keep getting to press it over and over and over again, because that's the build that we're kind of focusing on, right? Shadow Flame, there's our Mindbender, just the legendary effect. Our legendary did 10% of our damage. Just the Shadow Flame Prism. Really, really good. And the Mindbender himself, 6.6%. So it's really cool. It's a really fun playstyle. I love this playstyle so much. And I think it's something that, like, I'm going to keep working on. I obviously need to get better and better at it. But it's a ton of fun to play this. I could probably maybe move into Shadow Crash, but I actually really like Psychic Link. I'm focusing on pressing Mind Blast as much as I possibly can anyway. So as long as I set up my Vampiric Touches ahead of time, then I'm good to go, right? So this has been my build. I'm going to switch to Hungering Void for the next dungeon and just make sure that it's actually better, because I know I can do better than that. But that's the dungeon, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, drop a like down below. If you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, I would really appreciate it. Hit that big red button down below as well. And if you want to check out my Patreon, it's linked down below. If you want to support what's going on at this channel, if you want to support the future of this channel and me making videos into the future, then go head up that Patreon. There's 3 tiers right now. $5, $10, $20 tiers. You can pick whichever one you want, and there's some bonuses there for you as well. So check out the Patreon as well. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.